The original terrifying story of a maniac and a man who lived after death, lived on human blood.
Welcome to Gruesome Tuesday, live on the Ectoviolence channel. I'm your host, Alec. Yoshi is on my lap, if you see this little black kitty head down here. Today, we're going to be chatting about Val Kilmer a little bit. We'll see how long we go. We will see if anybody pops up in the chat as well. Sometimes there's a little bit of a pause when I start, so sometimes my stream has a little bit of issues right at the beginning, and then it's fine the rest of the time, though, so I'm just pulling some things up here in another window. All right, so Val Kilmer, right? Val Kilmer is one of those guys I grew up watching. A lot of you probably did. Especially people in my age range. People who grew up in the 90s. I was born in 1991. So I saw Val Kilmer probably the first time in theaters with Batman Forever, which I was actually just watching on VHS. I was cleaning up the room in here a little bit and decided I was going to watch Batman Forever on tape while I did that. And man, he has an underrated performance as Bruce Wayne, I will say. I mean, I guess that's where we're going right off the bat is Bruce Wayne, but Yoshi, they don't want to see your butt. If anybody's there in the chat, say hello. I'd love to hear from you. Have any questions or comments? Tell me your Val Kilmer stories. Main thing I'm going to do is be going through his filmography and talk about everything that I've seen that I'm familiar with in terms of his roles. So I got to be honest with you, most of it I haven't seen. It's one of those guys that, like, I watched a bunch of his stuff in the 90s. After that, he popped up here and there and stuff I was watching, but not as much as you'd think. But there are some interesting appearances here and there. There's one in particular I'm thinking of. I can't remember what it's called, though. I'll have to find it in here somewhere. Oh, there it is. 2003. Interesting. Yoshi is drooling all over me. He's a happy guy tonight. As you can see, he's booping the crap out of my hand that's controlling the mouse. All right, let's see here. Yoshi, come on. Top Secret from 1984. Let me see here. I've never seen Top Secret, so I'm going to read about it real quick. Directed by Jim Abrams, David Zucker, and Jerry Zucker. If I'm not mistaken, that's the guys who did Airplane and among other various comedy movies. So I'd be interested in seeing this one. I just haven't... I feel like I've seen DVDs of it somewhere, you know, but Peter Cushing, hey? Val Kilmer, obviously. Kitty, you gotta get in my lap. You're all up in the way. Silly boy. Say hello if you're in the chat. Would love to hear from you. Other than that, I have Top Secret, you know, I just haven't seen it. Real Genius. Now, you'd probably expect me to have seen this one. Haven't seen it. Val Kilmer's pretty young in this one, obviously. I'm very familiar with this movie. You know, people being in the VHS community, a lot of people post their copies of this movie, or I've seen talk about it a lot recently since he's passed, too. Don't mind me, I'm going to crack open a Quirk hard seltzer. Raspberry Rocket Pop flavor. Grabbed it at the gas station the other night, and I don't drink very much, so I just figured this seems like a good time, right? Open this up, have a little taste. Solid. Delicious. All right, so again, Real Genius. I probably need to watch this. I want to watch Real Genius. I'll say that. In terms of Val Kilmer movies I haven't seen. Next up, we got Top Gun. And obviously, I have a lot to say on Top Gun. Sort of weird military propaganda, but at the same time, one of the fucking best movies ever made. I love Top Gun. I love the soundtrack for Top Gun. I love the vibes. I don't know what it is. Top Gun's a great movie for me. Partially because I grew up watching it on VHS a lot, because we had a copy. I remember that Diet Pepsi commercial in front of the movie on VHS. Solid. That's a great commercial. And Val Kilmer in that movie, this is, I think, my actual introduction to Val Kilmer as a child was Top Gun, because we had it on tape. And I definitely watched that before Batman Forever, so. But you know, I didn't like his character as a child, obviously. He's I wouldn't say the villain, he's definitely an antagonist for Maverick, but by the end that's turned around, obviously. Plus he has the coolest name and a sick haircut in that movie. My mom always talked about how she had a crush on Val Kilmer. Same thing if I watched GoldenEye with her, she'd tell me about how much, you know, she was into Pierce Brosnan. That's funny. I think she was into Sam Neill, too. Very specific taste. Who's not into Sam Neill, though? How could you not be? If you were into any sort of man, even if you're not into men. Sam Neill. He can get it. I'll have another sip of my beverage here. Top Gun. We'll get to Top Gun Maverick. We're doing this in order. Willow. I think I have a copy of Willow over here, actually. I swear. Isn't there one? There's not. Oh, it's over there on the shelf. I have a rental copy of Willow. And I never got to see the sequel series they did. I don't think Val Kilmer popped up in it or anything, but very interesting. I have mixed feelings on Willow. I don't love it as much as everyone else, but I think it's interesting and whimsical. I have a fun enough time with it. But I also probably haven't watched it in 15, 20 years. Can hardly remember it. Kind of makes me want to give it another shot, though. Bring it back out. Check out this rental copy. Because I only have it on VHS. I don't have it on any other format. And, you know, I'm not in any rush to go pick up it on another format. Hello, Zion Sanchez. Real Genius is another good movie. Yeah, I talked about that one briefly. I haven't seen that one. But, you know, I'd like to. It's kind of one of those deals. Knowing my channel, you'd probably expect me to have seen Real Genius if you've ever come across it, you know, VHS eccentric channel. His next up movie is Kill Me Again, a 1989 American neo-noir crime thriller film. Directed by John Dahl. Stars Val Kilmer. Michael Madsen is in it, as well as Joanne Whaley. I haven't seen this one either. But you know what? I'm interested in some young Val Kilmer movies. As I said before, there's going to be a lot of these that I haven't seen because I've never done like a deep dive on Val Kilmer filmography before. It kind of just randomly pops up here and there, and I'm like, oh, I really like that guy, though. Hello, Punky Clown. Top Gun it's so good. I'm not like a military guy either. I'm not but, man. I mean, and when I say that, I mean, especially with movies. Like, I don't watch a bunch of military movies. Some of them, like Inglourious Bastards, is probably my favorite Tarantino movie. So, if they have enough going for them, they're interesting enough. I like them. Top Gun's really good, too. The soundtrack is just... That Berlin song, man, is so good. The Kenny Loggins. And then in 1991, he got to do The Doors. And I have mixed feelings on The Doors. I have The Doors movie on Blu-ray. I picked it up. I don't know, at a store. Probably $5 or $7. It was one of those. And I had never seen it before, but I was interested. I think it's cool how Kyle MacLachlan is Ray Manzarek. I'm a big fan of his. And so Val Kilmer is Jim Morrison. This is one of those ones that... This movie has some very cringy moments and things going on. And Jim Morrison wasn't, he's glorified here a little bit. We get to see him be a bit of an asshole too, but... It's a good performance, though. I mean, from the few clips I've seen of the actual Jim Morrison, I consider myself a Doors fan, but it's an excellent cast in this movie, just besides Val and Kyle as well. There's Meg Ryan and Frank Whaley. Josh Evans. Crispin Glover, that's right, he played Andy Warhol in this one. I'm a big Crispin Glover fan, too. I gotta do a Crispin Glover show sometime. Billy Idol, Michael Madsen, again, is in this. Interesting. Wonder if they were like buddies or pals. Michael Madsen was in a bunch of Tarantino movies. You've seen him in Reservoir Dogs, Kill Bill, Hateful Eight. And then he did Thunderheart, which I haven't seen. 1992 neo-western mystery film. Wounded Knee incident in 1973. Interesting. I mean, that's the thing as we go on, some of these movies just kind of getting forgotten unless somebody in your life showed it to you or like you watched it on some random afternoon, which happens a lot less these days because we don't watch TV. We're not slaves to what is being aired anymore. Hello, Sam Cooper. Welcome, welcome. We're talking Val Kilmer tonight, as you know. We are on Thunderheart from 1992. 8 years into his film career here. That's a movie I haven't seen before, but he plays FBI agent Ray Lavoie. I'm interested in this one. I want to add that one to the list for sure. The Real McCoy. Now I'm just thinking of 1993, The Real McCoy, the band. That's what I think of. But it's an American heist crime film. Also stars Kim Basinger. I think it mainly stars her, but that's fascinating. I've just like, like some of these movies just get so forgotten over time. That's wild to me. And Tombstone. Okay. I think I need to watch Tombstone this week. My podcast, Strange Glow video, might cover it because it's been so long since I've watched it. And I'm a big Kurt Russell, Val Kilmer, Bill Paxton, Michael Biehn. I love all those dudes. I have a Michael Biehn autograph on the wall over here from Terminator. And Kurt Russell, my God, come on. Kurt Russell is there just aren't words for how I feel about Kurt Russell. But Tombstone is a movie that, it's a lot of people's favorite Western movie, especially newer people. Sam Cooper says, I don't remember all of Thunderheart, but you remember it being pretty good. Yeah, man, I haven't seen that one. I'm super interested in it, though. Yeah, it's been so long since I've seen Tombstone, I just can't even, express a genuine opinion on it right now. I need to watch it again. Need to get around to that. Do I own a copy of that? I think I have a VHS copy at least. I'm pretty sure I do. Now I'm looking at my tape, sorry. What else we got here? After Tombstone, same year, True Romance. These actually might not all be in actual release order. They're just kind of by year, so. Either way, he plays Elvis in True Romance. I love True Romance, but I can't remember if they decided last minute not to show his actual face on screen or if it was an editing choice. Very fascinating, though. It's very funny that the character, Christian Slater's playing Clarence is all obsessed with Elvis and he hallucinates him, telling him to kill people and stuff. Pretty solid. In 1995, we finally got Batman Forever. I briefly talked about this at the beginning because I was mentioning how I was watching it earlier. I watched the VHS while I was cleaning up the tape room here, and it's better than I remember every time. I think it got a lot of hate. Not necessarily initially, because I was a kid. And when I was a kid, and when movies were bad, people didn't like Batman Forever. They didn't like Batman and Robin. They didn't like Armageddon. I was born in 1991. When all those movies come out and I saw them in theaters, I thought they were fucking awesome. I had no issues. It's only later, when I watched them as an adult, I was like, ooh, some of these are bad. And some of them are not awful. It's hard to explain. I've come back around on them. Also, I'm resizing this real quick. Don't mind me. Here we go. I recently changed some settings on this and I forgot to change this around. Yeah, Batman Forever though. I have the set of the 4 glass mugs they did from McDonald's. Those are awesome. I love having them in the collection. Actually, I wish I would have got one of those out for this. Trying to resize the damn chat box. There we go. All right, cool. Yeah, Armageddon, though. Today was Rex Manning Day, and I meant to watch Empire Records. I haven't done it. I might do it later while I'm doing some editing and just relax. But Liv Tyler's in that, so I don't know. My brain instantly went from Armageddon to Rex Manning Day again. Sorry. Armageddon's fun, though. I plan to do a Deep Impact versus Armageddon video in my Versus series. I'm going to do Volcano versus Dante's Peak. Stuff like that. That's a whole series I have planned, and I really like Armageddon and Deep Impact. You'll have to tune into that video whenever I make it to see which one I think is actually better, but Armageddon's fun. I throw that on as a comfort movie. It's ridiculous, but it's great. Fun cast in that, too. If only Val Kilmer was in it. Let's see. Heat. Heat is great. I actually studied heat when I was in audio engineering school for, because there's some interesting audio mistakes with the Foley work in the movie. That's when I first heard of it. Very interesting movie, though. Heat's, if nobody's seen it, like, it's just like they're calling it Heat, and, and they're like Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, and you're like, all right, cool. Like, sounds like another movie I don't really give a shit about. You have to be into these sort of action drama movies to see some of the brilliance of some of them, Like, I'm pretty selective on action. But, like, 90s action is my bread and butter. Like, Point Break is just so good. Speed. I love Speed. The Die Hard movies. But Heat is great. It's been a while since I've watched it. I can't even remember Val Kilmer in that one, to be honest. I need to watch again. I remember Jon Voight, Tom Sizemore, I do remember in there. He's another interesting guy. Kind of weird. Didn't he die? Yeah, holy shit, he died too. Hank Azaria, Danny Trejo, Henry Rollins. Fucking crazy cast of that movie. Tone Loc. Put Tone Loc in your movie, man. Yeah, but that's about all I have to say about Heat. Like, Heat's not anything too crazy. It's a good 90s action movie, though. Like, I'll give it that. A little crime thrillery, I guess. Not too... Like, there's some action sequences that are insane, though, so... Wings of Courage, a 1995 American-French drama film. Directed by Jean-Jacques Annaud. Starring Craig Sheffer, Val Kilmer, Elizabeth McGovern, and Tom Hughes. 40-minute film. First dramatic film shot in the IMAX format. Interesting. Wings of Courage is an account of the real-life story of early airmail operations in South America. It's cool that he did that. Val Kilmer's career is fucking cool, man. That guy is awesome. Pour one out for him. 1996, The Island of Dr. Moreau. I've heard a lot about this one. Never seen it, though. Marlon Brando, Val Kilmer, Fairuza Balk. I like her. If you know, she's like Fairuza Balk. The easiest way to explain her is the main evil witch girl in The Craft. But she was also in, like Waterboy and Return to Oz, and was she in Pushing Tin? American History X, that's right. She did a bunch of interesting stuff. I see Demi Moore is mentioned on the page here. I don't know if she's in the movie, but she might have helped with the production, it seems like. Fascinating. I'll have to read more about that one, because I've heard of it, and I've just never, read about that. Oh, he dated Cher. That's funny. Need to look into his personal life section, too. See what's up. The Ghost in the Darkness. What the hell is that? There's a bunch of these movies that he's just in that I've never heard of. Val Kilmer and Michael Douglas. Okay. Fictionalized account of the Savo man-eaters, a pair of lions that terrorized workers in around Kenya during the building of the Uganda-Mombasa Railway, East Africa, in 1898. That is a very specific and interesting sounding movie. Like, he did a lot of these, historical action movies almost, Dead Girl. This one doesn't even have poster artwork. Is it a Japan? No, it's an American film, but the release date is only listed in Japan. Interesting. All right. This is fascinating. The Reception, a retrospective, very negative review in the New York Times stated, Certainly, Very Bad Things and Dead Alive, among other films, have proven that tasteless material can be funny, and even, as in the wonderfully morbid The Loved One, satirical. That's funny to me, because Very Bad Things is a movie I like. It's not great. That's a very weird fucking movie. It's like supposed to be a black comedy, but it's like almost just not even funny because it's so dark. And then Dead Alive. Comparing it to Very Bad Things and Dead Alive because they're in bad taste is funny. I love both of those movies. Maxim, I live in the greater Kansas City area. It's a pretty huge area, but, I don't get too specific. That's the region, though. Yeah, everything I've seen Val Kilmer and I've liked, so. The Saint. I feel like I've seen posters, or I've seen that on physical media somewhere, The Prince of Egypt. I'm going to have to skip over some of this stuff just because, at first sight, it's a romantic drama film. Joe the King, I haven't seen that. Val Kilmer, Ethan Hawke, John Leguizamo. I like all of them. Red Planet. There's an interesting one. I've seen that. I have that one on DVD. Him and Tom Sizemore again. This one came out in the year 2000. It's strange. But like in terms of space movies in that era, like it's not bad. It's fun. The Salton Sea, neo-crime thriller, Hard Crash, direct-to-video action heist film. Wonderland. Have you guys seen Wonderland? I have a copy of this on DVD. This is a very weird movie, but fascinating. He plays John Holmes, the porn star. The guy who had like a 13-inch long. Val Kilmer, Kate Bosworth, Dylan McDermott, Carrie Fisher, Lisa Kudrow, Josh Lucas, Christina Applegate, Tim Blake Nelson, and Janine Garofalo. It's a pretty wild cast. But it's, he's a famous porn star and suspected accomplice in 4 grisly murders committed in a house on Wonderland Avenue in the Laurel Canyon section of Los Angeles. The film uses a non-linear style narrative structure to present conflicting accounts of the murders from different perspectives. Honestly, worth watching at least once if you're into like crime thrillers and stuff like that, or you're just a big Val Kilmer fan. The Missing, never seen it. Tommy Lee Jones, directed by Ron Howard, also Kate Blanchett. I mean, during this time, I wasn't interested in like Blind Horizon, a conspiracy mystery thriller. That wasn't my vibe when I was 12 years old when that came out, so. Masked and Anonymous, written by Larry Charles and Bob Dylan. That's bizarre. Never heard of that. Alexander. Now, I'm familiar with this one. Haven't seen it. I only saw Gladiator when I was in my 20s. Heat and Tombstone are your favorites, Maxim says. Yeah. It'd be very hard for me to say the favorites. But as we're going through here, I'm just going to mention the stuff that I've seen. That's funny. He was in The Love Guru as himself. I never saw The Love Guru. I saw the trailers for it and was like, nah. It's funny because I was 17 in 2008 and I already had that kind of outlook on the new Mike Myers movies. It's like, no, I'm done. He was in Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call. The first Bad Lieutenant is really good, the original. But then Nicolas Cage was in... Yeah, he's in this one. Interesting. I do like Nicolas Cage. Haven't done the Nicolas Cage show yet. That'll be coming eventually as well. MacGruber. All right. If you haven't seen MacGruber, do yourself a favor and check out MacGruber. Val Kilmer is the villain in this movie, and he is fucking deranged and amazing. It's a great movie anyway, though. I think I have a copy of that somewhere on DVD. Damn. He played Wyatt Earp in Wyatt Earp's Revenge in 2012. That's interesting. The Fourth Dimension. Okay. Damn, have I not seen any of these? Oh, that's true. He was in Jay and Silent Bob reboot. Loved him popping up in that. And Val was one that I wanted to see, and I just could never find it playing anywhere. I could probably get around to finding it now, though. In Top Gun Maverick. Just seeing him in Top Gun Maverick was pretty emotional. It was awesome to see. I liked Top Gun Maverick enough. I don't think I bought it on physical media yet, but I had a good time with it. I was surprised. I was stoked to go see it, and seeing that in a theater was the only way. And the way they shot everything, man. Awesome. Oh, let's see here. Television. Saturday Night Live in 2000. I think I have watched that. I've gone through and watched a bunch of random Saturday Night Lives. Knight Rider. The voice of Kit in 2008 to 2009. He appeared in Willow from archive footage in 2022. Which I believe that version of Willow isn't even available to see on Disney Plus anymore. So unless somebody ripped it, you could probably find a pirated version, but good luck. Yeah, it makes me emotional thinking about him in Top Gun Maverick. That fucking Val Kilmer rules. Let's see. Reputation. Oh, okay, no. Relationships and family. Over the years, he dated Cher, which I think Sam Cooper mentioned in the chat. Was that who? Somebody did. Yeah. And that's funny. Who doesn't like Cher? But he also dated Leslie Ann Warren, Cindy Crawford, Angelina Jolie, Daryl Hannah, and Ellen Barkin. He was married to Joan Whaley Kilmer from 1988 to 1986. He had a reputation of being hard to work with, having feuds with some of the actors, most notably The Island of Dr. Moreau co-star Marlon Brando and Red Planet and Heat co-star Tom Sizemore. That's funny. Kilmer's Tombstone co-star Michael Biehn said, "People ask me what it's like to work with Kilmer. I don't know. Never met him. Never shook his hand. I know Doc Holliday, but I don't know Kilmer." That's funny. Interesting. Kilmer was a lifelong Christian Scientist. I don't want to look further into that because I don't know if how I'm gonna feel about that. But anyway, what else we got? Anything else interesting? Do you have any other thoughts about Val Kilmer that you guys want to get out there? Sorry, I'm burping. What I will say is, he just seemed like a cool dude. A very interesting person. And we all knew that he had that, I guess it was throat cancer, right? So we became aware of that a few years ago, and that in itself was a bummer. But I didn't expect him to go out so soon either. I expect him to just be able to live his life for a while and chill, even if it was not the life he perhaps wanted to live. But, shit. Dude's gone. The biggest one that hit me this year was David Lynch, though, because I was hoping for more David Lynch, as selfish as that sounds. I'm happy with the Lynch we have, but damn, that one hurts still. I love David Lynch. We've had some other big ones this year, too, and I'm already forgetting them, now, because just what fucking happens. It's like Tom Sizemore. I forgot that guy was even dead. That happened a couple years ago. He was in Twin Peaks: The Return. Always Sunny as well. Random appearances here and there. I guess we can open this up to a Q&A if you guys want. If you have any questions while I'm winding things down. Looks like my stream disappeared for a minute there. Sorry about that. I don't know what I was saying, what went through, what didn't. Sometimes my stream does that, which is lame. But I did recently hit 3,200 subscribers, which is pretty cool. I've been really putting effort into this channel now for about 15 months or so. Before that, it existed for about a year or so before that, but I wasn't doing what I am now. The fact that I have anybody in the live chat is pretty cool to me. Glad you guys are here. Thanks for stopping by. My cat is sleeping on my lap here too. Well, yeah, I'm running out of things to say, so. I guess I'll update you on some videos I do have coming out. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock, there'll be a video dropping about Friday the 13th. And, then I will have a VHS review of Final Destination coming pretty soon as well. And Final Destination 2, I'm going to review all of them before the new one comes out. And then review that one, obviously. And then rank them and all that fun stuff. Maxim says, what are some of my favorite bands? Well, I'm wearing a Joy Division shirt. I would say Joy Division and New Order are my favorite band of all time. But also, I really like My Chemical Romance. I mean, Prince. My Bloody Valentine, The Cure. Kind of all over the place. I like Dolly Parton, Johnny Cash. I like Immortal. Really, I'm honestly just so all over the place. It's like one of those hard questions. I could pull up Spotify here, tell you what I listen to, I suppose. I also make music, so if you have Spotify, you should all look up Another Green World. That's my band. Been putting out music like that for longer than I've been doing YouTube. 2012, my first album came out, I think. So I got like 3 albums on there, but all right, let's go to playlists. I'll tell you my top songs of 2024. My Chemical Romance, Dougie Fresh and the Get Fresh crew. It's the song Spirit from the Ghostbusters 2 soundtrack. From first to last, My Chemical Romance, Bathory, Peaches, Aqua, AFI, Jim Croce, Roy Orbison, Boy Harsher, Venom, Thursday, Mayhem, Typo Negative, Ministry, The, Bayside, Bananarama, Rob Zombie, Miley Cyrus, Ice Cube, Faith No More, Wang Chung, Chapel Roan, Hawthorne Heights, Blink-182, TSOL, Dokken, Dokken, Dream Warriors, Orgy, Ghetto Boys, Beastie Boys, The Soft Moon, David Bowie, Kate Bush, The Cranberries, Killer Mike, 9 Inch Nails, Dolly Parton, Candlemass. That was 2024. I'm not going to go on about this for hours or anything, but 2023, Oliver Tree, Wilson Phillips, The Prodigy, My Chemical Romance, 9 Inch Nails, Aqua, The Immortal, Ghetto Boys, Metallica, the Statler Brothers, Squirt Gun, Peaches again, more Bowie, Bananarama again, Tom Jones, Roy Orbison, Dusty Springfield, Mariah Carey, Stacey Q, Nancy Sinatra. Yeah, I listen to a lot of interesting, I guess, different stuff. I like music. What can I say? I like music and movies too. So there's lots of soundtrack artists on there and stuff. I didn't even call out some of that stuff because it's random. Some of you probably know who Goblin is, I would imagine. But I'd be listening to Goblin sometimes. There was another question. Wasn't there? Nope. Sam Cooper just said, thanks for doing these. Fun to hang. Yeah, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm actually recording a new album for my project, Another Green World, now. I haven't released an album with that since 2018. I've kind of been focused on YouTube and my podcast and other things, but it's fun. It's like dream pop, shoegaze, synth pop stuff. So if you know those genres, you do. And if it sounds like nonsense, then I don't know. It might be. But it's fun. I actually downloaded some new sound fonts. So I have some of the keyboard sounds that they used in GoldenEye and Super Mario 64 that are being put into dream pop, shoegaze, synth pop songs. So it's fun stuff. We like to have fun. Say hello to Darwin. Or I should say goodnight to Darwin, because we're about to end the show here. We'll be back next week, though. I don't know what the topic will be. Probably not. The last few ones I've done, I did the Arnold Schwarzenegger show, and then I did the Kevin Smith show, the Dan Aykroyd show, and Val Kilmer I just decided to do last minute because obviously he passed, and that's a bummer. Next week we'll do something else, though, a little bit different. I don't know what. We'll see. But in the meantime, I will be putting out more videos, so check those out. Like I said, tomorrow's Friday the 13th, and then next after that will be probably the Final Destination VHS review. and lots of other fun stuff coming around. So stick around. Good night, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. The Robert Englund Show. That's the Nightmare on Elm Street show at that point. I mean, there's plenty of weird Robert Englund things that he's been in. I have Python on DVD that he's in. All right, anyway, good night. Sayonara.